Today we're looking at Amazon Web Services CEO Matt Garman's own words and comparing them to how AWS actually behaved when it hosted fraudulent platforms like Intellisoft.rest and Intellisoft.one. AWS says security is in our DNA, but when victims filed abuse reports, AWS ignored them and kept billing the scammers. Let's break down the contradiction. AWS's public promises. In an official AWS Executive Insights interview, Matt Garman emphasized security at the very top of the company. He said, "The number one and most important thing is fast escalation and being transparent. Holding on to bad news is never the right answer." He described weekly CEO CISO meetings where AWS leadership reviews risks, debates issues, and spreads security lessons across 50 to 100 teams. He explained that AWS promotes a culture where employees are encouraged to surface issues quickly without fear of punishment, all in the name of transparency. This is the image AWS wants customers, regulators, and the public to see: a trillion-dollar company where security is taken seriously and escalated to the CEO every week. The reality for victims. But here's what really happened. Victims, including myself, submitted abuse reports about the fraud domains Intellisoft.rest and Intellisoft.one. AWS accepted those reports and issued official case numbers. Yet no action was taken to suspend the fraudulent hosting. Victims received no transparency, no updates, no disclosure of the fraudsters' identities. And AWS continued billing the scammers, profiting from the infrastructure that powered the fraud. So while AWS told the world fast escalation and holding bad news is never the right answer, their actual response was silence and inaction, the legal contradiction. This contradiction matters in court. Under the voluntary undertaking doctrine explained in Espinal versus Melville Snow Contractors, once a company sets up a system to handle risks, like AWS's Trust and Safety Abuse Report program, it has a duty to act reasonably. AWS publicly promised escalation and transparency. It undertook a duty by accepting abuse reports. It then breached that duty by ignoring the reports and continuing to bill fraudulent accounts. In legal terms, that's negligence. In moral terms, it's hypocrisy. So in Part 88, we see the gap between AWS's polished statements and the reality for fraud victims. Matt Garman says security is in our DNA, but in practice, AWS enabled criminal infrastructure and ignored warnings. That's why this case isn't just about one victim. It's about holding cloud giants accountable when their actions don't match their promises.